Hello, this is Dr. R. Lakshmi, Faculty of Mathematics. In this lecture, I am going to talk about one of the well-known principle, mathematical induction, and followed by the strong induction problems, right? Let us first see what is the principle of mathematical induction. In this section, we are going to first see the principle of induction, followed by the different examples of proof by induction. Let us consider a problem of climbing an infinite ladder. Suppose we have an infinite ladder. In the first step, we can reach the first rung of the ladder. Second step, we can reach a particular rung of the ladder. If we can reach the particular rung of the ladder, then we can reach the next rung. From the first step, we can reach the first rung. Then by the second step, we can reach the second. Then from second to third, from third to fourth. So on, we can apply any number of times to reach any particular rung, no matter how high the ladder is. Right? When this climbing of infinite ladder to be solved by using induction method, we have to follow two steps. Right? Before applying the induction principle to this particular example, let us in general give the principle of induction. To prove that P of n is true for all positive integers n, we complete these steps. In the basis step, we show that P of n is true. In the inductive step, we show that P of k conditional P of k plus 1 is true for all positive integers k. In other form, we suppose that P of k is true and we try to prove that P of k plus 1 is also true. Corresponding to the infinite ladder problem, let us apply these two steps. In the problem of ladder, the basis step we can consider that we can reach the first rung 1. In the inductive step, we assume that the inductive hypothesis that we can reach rung k. Suppose that the rung k can be reached. This is called the inductive hypothesis. Then, by the assumption, we have to prove that we can also reach the rung k plus 1. Let us see how the mathematical induction works when we consider the infinite sequence of dominoes. Let us suppose the infinite sequence of dominoes is labeled 1, 2, 3, so on, where each domino is standing. Let us form a function P of n, that the nth domino is knocked over. We know that the first domino is knocked down, so P of 1 is true. This is the basic step. We also know that if whenever the kth domino is knocked over, so we are assuming that the kth domino is knocked over, and we are going to prove that k plus 1th domino is also knocked over. Let us have the few other proofs based on the induction principle to show that sigma I for I equal to 1 to n is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. In order to prove this result by mathematical induction, we have to complete the two steps as we told earlier. In the basis step, let us prove P of 1 is true. Since for n equal to 1, 1 into 1 plus 1 by 2 is also equal to 1, or sigma I for I equal to 1 to 1 is 1, we have that the P of 1 is true. Now to finish the inductive step, we assume that P of k is true, that is k into k plus 1 by 2 is the sum of the first k integers. Using that, we show that P of k plus 1 is also true. Consider P of k plus 1. Consider p of k first. By our assumption, 1 plus 2 plus so on plus k plus 1 is k into k plus 1 by 2 plus k plus 1. Adding on simplification, we have k plus 1 into k plus 2 by 2. Therefore, p of k plus 1 is true. Now let us consider few important points about using of mathematical induction. Mathematical induction can be expressed as the rule of inference. For example, p of 1 and for all k, p of k conditional p of k plus 1 imply for all n p of n. This is the rule of inference regarding the principle of mathematical induction, where the domain is the set of positive integers. In a proof by mathematical induction, we don't assume that p of k is true for all positive integers. We show that if we assume that p of k is true, then p of k plus 1 must also be true. Proofs by mathematical induction do not always start at the integer 1. In such a case, the basis step begins at a starting point b, where b is an integer that we can see in the examples later. Now let us prove an inequality using mathematical induction. To prove that n is less than 2 power n for all positive integers n. To prove this, let us form p of n a proposition which is denoted by n less than 2 power n. Let us finish the two steps of the induction, basis step. We show that p of 1 is true. Because 1 is less than 2 power 1, that is 1 less than 2 always, which is true, it is clear that p of 1 is true. Now to finish the inductive step, we assume that p of k holds, that is k less than 2 power k for an arbitrary positive integer k. And using this we prove that p of k plus 1 holds. Since by inductive hypothesis k is less than 2 power k, we can write k plus 1 is less than 2 power k plus 1, which is further less than or equal to 2 power k plus 2 power k, which gives us 2 power k into 2 power k plus 1. Hence the result that n less than 2 power n will hold for all positive integers n, because in the step already discussed, we have p of k plus 1 is also true. Now let us have another inequality using the same principle. To prove that 2 power n is less than n factorial for n greater than or equal to 4, let p of n be the proposition that 2 power n is less than n factorial. Let us do the basis step first. Let us prove that p of 4 is true. Because 2 power 4 is 16 less than 4 factorial, p of 4 is true. To complete the inductive step, we assume that p of k, that is 2 power k less than k factorial for an arbitrary integer k greater than or equal to 4 holds. And to show that p of k plus 1 holds, let us consider 2 power k plus 1, which is 2 into 2 power k, can be written less than 2 into k factorial, can further be written k plus 1 into k factorial, which is k plus 1 factorial. Therefore, 2 power k plus 1 is less than k plus 1 factorial, which proves k plus 1 holds. Finally, by mathematical induction, we can now say that 2 power n is less than n factorial for every integer n greater than or equal to 4. Now let us prove a divisibility result using the same induction. Prove that n cube minus n is divisible by 3 for every positive integer n. Suppose that p of n is n cube minus n is divisible by 3. In the basis step, we prove that p of 1 is true. Because 1 cube minus 1 is 0 divisible by 3, we can say p of 1 is true. In the inductive step, we assume p of k is true and prove that p of k plus 1 is true. Consider k plus 1 power 3 minus of k plus 1, which on simplification give us k cube minus k plus 3 of k square plus k. Right? So by the inductive hypothesis, k plus 1 whole cube minus minus of k plus 1 is now a multiple of 3 clearly. So p of k plus 1 follows, because already we assumed that p of k holds true. Similarly, the number of subsets of a finite set can be proved using a mathematical induction, and the tiling of checkerboards problem can be solved using mathematical induction. Now, let us discuss one of the important case of the mathematical induction known as the strong induction and well ordering. Let us in this section cover what is a strong induction and what are the example proofs using the strong induction followed by well ordering property. By the strong induction, we prove that p of n is true for all positive integers n, where p of n is a propositional function. We complete the following two steps. Basis step. We verify that proposition p of 1 is true. In the inductive step, we show that the conditional statement p of 1 and p of 2 and so on and p of k imply p of k plus 1 holds for all positive integers k. In another form, in the inductive step, we assume that p of 1, p of 2 and so on, p of k are all true, and we try to prove that p of k plus 1 is also true. The same infinite ladder problem can also be solved using the strong induction. According to strong induction, its basis step is to prove that p of 1 holds. Right? In the inductive step, we assume that p of 1 and p of 2 and so on, p of k holds for an arbitrary k. And we show p of k plus 1 must also hold. Right? We will have then shown by strong induction that for every positive integer n, p of n holds, that is, we can reach the nth rung of the ladder. Now we discuss which form of the induction should be used. When should be the mathematical induction should be used, and when should be the strong induction should be used. We can always use the strong induction instead of mathematical induction. Always. But there is no reason to use it if it is simpler to use mathematical induction. So, what is the priority among strong and mathematical induction? When it is simpler to apply mathematical induction, it should be done. Otherwise, we may use the strong induction instead of mathematical induction also. In fact, the principle of mathematical induction, strong induction and the well ordering property are all equivalent. Sometimes it is clear how to proceed using one of these three methods but not the other two. Let us consider a proof using strong induction. Prove that every amount of postage of 12 cents or more can be formed using just 4 cents and 5 cent stamps. To prove this statement using the strong induction, let us suppose p of n represent that the postage of n cents must be formed using 4 cents and 5 cent stamps. In the basis step, we prove that p of 12, p of 13, p of 14 and p of 15 hold. P of 12 uses 3 4 cent stamps, so it is true. P of 13 uses 2 4 cent stamps and 1 5 cent stamp is also true. P of 14 uses 1 4 cent stamp and 2 5 cent stamps possible. So P of 14 is also true. Similarly, P of 15 uses 3 5 cent stamps. So in the basis step of this problem, we prove that P of 12, P of 13, P of 4 and P of 15 all hold true. Because there is a possibility that 12, 13, 14 and 15 cent stamps can be made using of the only 4 cent and 5 cent stamps. Now in the inductive step, we make an inductive hypothesis that P of k for any positive integer k is that postage of k cents can be formed using 4 cent and 5 cent stamps. To show P of k plus 1 where k is greater than or equal to 12, we consider the two cases. If at least one 4 cent stamp has been used, then a 4 cent stamp can be replaced with a 5 cent stamp to yield a total of k plus 1 cents. Otherwise, no 4 cent stamp have been used and at least 3 5 cent stamps were used. 3 5 cent stamps can be replaced by 4 4 cent stamps to yield a total of k plus 1 cents. With this all reasoning, we can say that we are able to now conclude that P of n holds for all n greater than or equal to 12. In the similar way, we can prove the fundamental theorem of arithmetic also. Now let us see what is a well-ordering property. Every non-empty set of non-negative integers has a least element. This property of the set of non-negative integers is called well-ordering property. The well-ordering property is one of the axioms of the positive integers. Can be used directly in proofs, as the next example illustrates. The well-ordering property can be generalized. A set is well-ordered if every subset has a least element. And this is all about the mathematical induction and the proofs based on the mathematical induction, then the structural induction and the proofs based on the structural strong induction, and finally we have seen what is a well-ordering property and what is its importance. Thank you.